Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so today's video, I want to talk about something that I've noticed, right? I think when it comes to buying properties in Ghana, have you subscribed yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? Because I don't think you have. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button right now for me. Just do me a favor. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, so today's video is all about buying property when you've never even been to Ghana before. You need to stop doing that. I mean, I know that I show properties, right, for you guys to look at.
Okay. Okay, so how many properties do we have in here?
So here we have 5 properties.
Okay.
The first one is a 3-bed, second 3-bed, and this is the 4-bed.
Okay.
And that's studio apartments on the last side.
Are those for sale as well?
Those are not for sale.
But I think a bare minimum before you buy any property is to actually be able to come out and see the property. See what it looks like, because there are a few things that you need to know. You need to know before you purchase that property. I'm just getting comfortable now. Let me just, take off my slippers. Yeah, you need to know some things before you go ahead and buy this property, right? So I know someone, and hopefully he doesn't watch this video and know that I'm talking about him. But anyway, I know someone that bought a property, and then when they arrived in Ghana, they didn't realize that the property was as far out as it actually was. And it just struck me like, you can't be buying, would you do that? Okay, so perhaps, if you're in the UK or the US, whatever, perhaps you have an idea. If you're buying a property, maybe you can buy it online without having actually seen it, because you can pretty much rely on Google Maps and kind of have a fair idea of areas, and, you can kind of suss things out a little bit. I still wouldn't advise you buying something before you've actually seen it, but you could probably kind of gauge a little bit. There's a lot more information out there in terms of what particular areas are like, the amenities, the amenities that are around, schools in the area. It can tell you, you can research a whole lot on even a particular road if you want to, right? There's a lot of information that you can get from the internet. You're not getting that in Ghana. You ain't getting that in Ghana. So don't expect to buy a property from over there that you've never seen here and expect to walk into something tremendous. Because one thing I've realized that a lot of people like to do is to buy property on the basis of price, right? So you see a property and you think, okay, or like a piece of land, and you think, right, this piece of land is really cheap. It's only $4,000. And I get this much land. That's amazing. I'm gonna buy it. And you send your money and you buy it, but you've never been there before. Never. I mean, at bare minimum, you have to get someone that you know, who you trust on the ground, to be able to go and look at that land for you. Now, we're not even talking about necessarily in terms of how far away something is, but you also have to look at where the land is actually located, what is around it. You can buy a house, right? The house can be beautiful. Oh, like some Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house, like proper, like this is a king's house, this is a king's castle, like a house like that. It's amazing. But you didn't look at what was surrounding the house. The house might be next to some chicken farm on one side, and the other side you've got a church. You just don't know. You have to physically go, or let somebody go and see the area for you before you decide to purchase, or have someone go and look that you trust to say, okay, you know what, I've been there and the area is good. So there's certain times that you go to buy property, right? Raining season is the best time to buy property, land, whatever. The best time. In fact, I will advise you, if you want to buy land or anything, buy it in raining season, because raining season will tell you everything that you need to know. Because if that land gets swamped when it rains, you won't know about it in the dry season. You ain't gonna know until it's too late. Okay? I know people that when it rains, they cannot leave their house. They cannot leave their house because it's not worth it. They will get stuck. Their car will be spoiled, engines flooded. They cannot leave. And one thing about when you buy certain types of property here is it's not as easy to turn over and think, okay, you know what, after 2 years, let me sell this house and let me go and find another house. It could take you a long time before you sell that house. It doesn't just happen like that unless you're very, very fortunate. It's very difficult sometimes. You can't just, like in the UK, you could buy a house, 6 months time, you know what, let's move, let's upgrade, let's downgrade, or whatever, I'm going to buy another one and just, here, the headache, you know how processes here already are. The processes can be slow and frustrating. So when it comes to something like a magnitude of that kind of purchase, it's going to be a lot. So you have to really make sure you know what you're doing. So you must have an idea of where that property is and what is around it. Like, don't be telling me I looked at it on Google Maps, because I've heard that one too. I looked at it on Google Maps and it's only 45 minutes from the airport. It's only 45 minutes from the airport. Have you done the journey? Because by the time you go down that rickety road, this one, right, you may not want that house anymore. That could be the difference between you deciding to buy this amazing house and not buy this amazing house. Like, you have to know areas here. It's so important. So sometimes, when I do these videos and people complain, but it's too expensive. Oh, I can get it cheaper. Yeah, you can get it. I'm sure you can. Anything you get in life, you can get it cheaper. I can buy an apple from here and I can buy an apple from here. I can get it cheaper. But maybe the one that I bought from over here, which is the cheaper one, it might have been sitting there for 4 weeks. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there are going to be some differences. They're not equal in scale. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be some differences in it. And so you need to understand what it is you're buying. Like, get someone that you trust to go look at it, scout the area, look at it at nighttime. Definitely go back on a Sunday. Sunday, have a look, see what it's like, see if church is allowed, see what happens. Nighttime, you want to see what nightlife is around in there. Does it get very busy? There are a lot of cars passing, a lot of people hanging out on the streets. Are there a lot of showers? You want to know those things. Like, these are the things you need to know. Like, you might be laughing here because I said a shower, but it's the truth. You need to know what is out there. If you don't know what a shower, it means prostitute, yeah? So you need to know what is in the area and the kind of people that also live in that area. Do you want to live there? Do you want to buy there? You could buy a beautiful piece of land, but you know what? There's going to be no electricity, no water, no internet for the next 5 years. But you bought this land and you're thinking that you're going to build in 2 years and live there. And you're like now on an island all by yourself. So you bought all this land around you and you're the only house that's there and there's nothing around you. But you didn't know that when you're buying it, that there's no development happening there. You just bought because your heart told you to buy, but you didn't consult your head. These are just some of the things that I've come across. Now, I know, I know some of you are going to be like, but you sell lands and properties all the time. Yeah, I do. I do sell lands and properties on my channel. But for the most part, if I show a property, usually if there's a developer involved, I will ask the developer. If I find that the road is a little bit rickety, I ask the developer about the road, or or if there is no issue, then I don't mention it because I feel like there's nothing to say. But for you yourself, you need to know yourself what the road is like. Those are the questions that you need to be asking. So even if you can't get here, bare minimum, ask the person who you're buying it from, what is the road like? Get some pictures done, or small videos, so you can see what the journey is like up to wherever it is that you're buying, because you do not want to make a mistake here. You really don't want to make a mistake here, because this is a different terrain, and you think, I'm going to sue and get my money back. Charlie, the time that you're being caught, you say it's okay, forget it, keep it. Because you'll be tired. That's unfortunately how it is, So yeah, just have your wits about you before you purchase anything. Make sure you understand the area that you're investing in. Understand what development is going to be like, because you may even get an area where, you know what, I'm going to purchase this land, even though there's nothing in it, there's no other houses around in it, right? I've seen what the government has planned, and I can see in, 5-10 years time, this area is going to boom. That's different. I'm not talking about those. Those are like long-term investments that you're buying, right? So even some land that we bought when we first came to Ghana, bought it for it was really, for me, it wasn't cheap at the time, but we bought that land And the value of the land has just gone all the way up. But when we bought the land, there were no light poles. There was no electricity in the area. There was nothing. It was just buying just land. But now houses have started to pop up. It's, you know, the area is getting a lot better. It's just much nicer, you know. And so that was more of a long-term thing. In fact, we did have plans to move there, but anyway, story for another time. But yes, so you need to know the reason behind why you're buying it, and the length of time you're prepared to wait in order for that land to mature for you to be able to say, I'm going to live there now. So it's fine if you have your 5-year, 10-year plan and think, I'm not coming to Ghana for another 5 years or 10 years, but I want to buy now so I can hold on to it. Hold on to it, but just make sure you wall it, make sure you have someone check up on that land, make sure no one's encroaching on your land and all of that good stuff, you know, just to make sure that it's secure. I've heard too many stories about people who have bought land, someone has encroached, and then encroached, and then encroached, and before you know, they've got 1 square meter of land left. You don't want that to happen to you. So you need someone on the ground that can keep an eye on whatever it is that you've purchased. So please, I'm begging you, please, before you purchase something, make sure you have someone go look at what it is that you're buying. Someone that actually understands what it is that you want, because let's be honest here, right? Sometimes there is communication. Do you know what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, get someone who's on the same wavelength as you, to understand what it is that you want before you purchase that property or that land or whatever it is. Just make sure you've done your due diligence, please. Thank you. And that's really all I got to say. That's pretty much it for today. But did you subscribe yet though? Because I'm sure I have been recording for maybe I'm sure I've got at least 8 minutes of talking, I think. So when you subscribe, it only takes like a split second. So sorry, I'm in a mood. I'm in a good mood. I just had some pictures done in my Airbnb and they came out like this, amazing. So I'm kind of like a little bit hyped. That's why you're seeing this version of Dela right now. She's in a good mood. Okay. So anyway, that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Don't touch it, please. So I'm talking to my son. He's behind. He's ready to press the stop button. I'm like, don't press it yet. So if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment, and share this video for me. Until next time, I am out. Nutifafa.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain.